Welcome to Numbers Simplified. In this channel, we seek to simplify and solve numerical problems. We're still continuing with our financial mathematics series. Today, we'll be looking at percentage, profit, losses, selling, and cost price, including the markup and discounts. So recall, profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. If the selling price is greater than the cost price, and when selling price is less than the cost price, that means that we are going to have a loss instead of a profit that we had before. So the loss will be given by cost price minus the selling price. Therefore, the percentage profit is equal to the profit over the cost price times 100. That will give us the percent. Whereas on the percentage loss, we are going to have loss divided by the cost price times 100. With that in mind, let us consider example 1. A market trader buys 100 oranges for $30. She sells them for 50 cents each. Calculate the percentage profit or loss she made. The solution. So now we start by finding the cost of the 100 oranges. So the cost of 100 oranges, rather this one is given, $30. And also the selling price of the same 100 oranges would be 50 cents times the 100 oranges, so that we get $50. Therefore, the profit is going to be the selling minus the cost price. Substituting for this, we are going to have 50 minus 30, which would give us $20. Now that we have the profit itself, we need to find what that would contribute to the cost price and what percentage that would be. So therefore, the percentage profit would be the profit over the cost of $30 times the 100, so that we get 66.7%. And that would be the percentage profit. Let's consider example 2. An article costs $240, which is sold at a loss of 8%. Find the selling price. So we know that the loss is going to be the cost times the percentage loss. That's how we would get the loss itself. Now, substituting for the cost was $240 and the percentage is 8%. And calculating that, we get $19.20. So now that we have the loss, we move on to also consider the loss, which implies that the selling price is less than the cost itself. So if that is the case, that will mean that the selling price is going to be cost minus the loss. And we expect the selling price to be lower than the cost. That's why we are subtracting this loss. If it was a profit, we would be adding this to the cost because we expect the selling price to be higher than the cost. So now substituting for the cost of $240 minus the loss of $19.20, we are going to get the answer of the selling price being $220.80. Now let's consider example 3. So we've got the value added tax at a rate of 17%, which is added each time an item is sold on. The original cost of an item is $112. The item is sold to a wholesaler who sells it on to a retailer, and the retailer sells it to the public. So part A, how much tax will the item have incurred? So the solution. The original cost is $112, and the cost to the wholesaler would be $112 times the tax included. Therefore, we're going to have 1 plus the tax percentage. That would give us the cost to the wholesaler. Now, so the wholesaler would now pass it on to the retailer. So the cost to the retailer would be 112 times the text amount times the tax, because each and every time the item is sold to another individual or entity, it pays tax of 17%. So we keep on adding that bit, 1 plus 17 over 100, because that ensures that we add the tax to the current price. Then the retailers would in turn sell it to the public. So meaning that we are going to end up having 112 times 1 plus 17 over 100 raised to the power 3. These are indices, and I encourage you to check out our video on indices and the laws of indices if this all doesn't make much sense. Right, so calculating that, we are going to get $179.38. So for the B part, express the tax as a percentage of the original price. So now, the percentage tax on the original cost is given by the cost to the public, because that's the final amount that this particular item would have, the final cost that this item will have, and it's going to be the largest cost. Now we subtract the original cost of 112 all over the original cost times 100. So if we substitute for this, we are going to get $179.38 minus $112 all over $112 multiplied by 100. That would give us 60.2%. So that would be the tax as a percentage of the original price. So I encourage you once again to check out all the other playlists that we have. These might be beneficial, especially if you are a mathematics student. And if you have made it thus far, I say congratulations to you, and I leave you with the following task. Make sure to write your questions and answers in the comments section, and we'll be glad to assist you in every way possible. Thank you so much for watching Numbers Simplified. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. And remember, God loves you.